is in literally a mega crisis right now. If you come to London and you're looking for something exciting to do, simply do not go down Park Lane. I've mentioned this before, right, chums, and the thing that I do find very distressing is if you are staying in one of those illustrious, beautiful, historic hotels like the Dorchester, the London Hilton on Park Lane, the Inn on the Park, Grosvenor House, make sure you do not go out at night alone, particularly if you are a lady, because it's simply 100% not safe. But is it now time for this man to step in? As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Nice to have your company, whatever you're doing. Yeah, are you all right? We haven't done a wave, sorry. You all right today? I'm not so bad. If you come to London, honestly, really be careful on the Park Lane area. Now, I mentioned this to you recently about Park Lane and just how bad things are becoming. Let me just sort my tie out. Becoming, because the problem that you've got now is you've got all these migrant camps in the middle of Park Lane. And, you know, they've set up, and I can't begin to tell you how grim this now looks in one of our most illustrious and famous addresses in London. They've got barbecues going at all hours of the day and night. They're literally using the public pathways for their own, shall we say, conveniences. And they're very aggressive once they get onto the pavement, demanding money. Now, as you can see from this report from the British news channel GB News, a very brave, I think, reporter decided to go into that migrant camp, and basically he got thrown things at him and abuse and all sorts of stuff. I mean, hats off, you know. I think he's very brave to do this. Sadiq Khan doesn't see a problem. You know, he's basically saying, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, London's got clean air, all the while telling you that he wants to infiltrate clean air with all the cannabis. That's how much the potty mayor has a grip on literally London. You get the picture. But the absolute land is owned by the Duke of Westminster. He owns great swathes of London. And what people are now suggesting is that he, in fact, should be the person that demands that this is taken away. Now, can he? Well, this is where it gets interesting. You see, the problem is the Duke of Westminster, as the landowner, obviously loans and rents areas of it out for people to build on, develop, etc. And what he could do, if he wished, would be to, how can you put this nicely, say to the Mayor of London and indeed Westminster Council, who are responsible for this area of London, look, this doesn't look good for our tourism, this doesn't look good for the people living in Westminster, or indeed all of those high spenders and those wonderful, as I say, hotels. They are bringing in millions every year. And I know for a fact that the owners of the Dorchester and the London Hilton have voiced very strong opinions. But there's very little they can do in this situation. And I've been told that they're about to write to the Duke of Westminster so that he can accelerate it. What's fascinating is the fact that when you go there, literally they've been there months on end, nobody is doing anything to clear it. And in fact, Sadiq Khan, I've been told, doesn't see this as an issue. They have to go somewhere, and of course the government allegedly, like the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, are doing everything they can to rehouse these illegals. If they're absolutely defecating like the likes of Park Lane, why not simply send them back? They've turned up here illegally, and that is now the issue. But now the bigger issue is, as I say, the Duke of Westminster could be called into this. All he is really is the landowner. It's not his fault that these people have come on board. But of course, as we've seen with this particular government and this Mayor of London, they very much like to attack the people that bring in so much wealth and riches to our once wonderful capital city. Either way, things are turning ugly very quickly and very fast. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.